Hi everyone, this is our November crate and just wanted to show you what was going to be in it so you know what to expect and maybe think about how you're going to use your crate. Here is a book. I'm going to explain that in just a moment, but here we go. Candle, very cool. All right, so our saint that we're focusing on is Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, and their virtue is generosity, which is one of the two. Patriotism is the other virtue of the month. But we're just really focusing on one saint, so just to kind of make it easy. So you'll have that, and so that'll go for your prayer corner, Bible verse, and a little bit of what's in your crate. Okay, so there's no directions on this, so I just wanted to talk about this really quickly. So November is the month that we pray for the souls in purgatory. And this is a little wrap for a candle that I created myself. And it's really lovely. You just kind of cut on the dotted line and then you just use tape. Thanks, Stella. Use tape to just kind of wrap it around. And it's really, really beautiful. And then you can actually use it to pray for the souls in purgatory. And if you notice, there's a little spot in the very back where you can actually write people's names. So you can have your kids help you fill that out, and I would do that before you actually tape it onto the candle. Okay, this is included as an extra special thing for your family. This month is really a wonderful thing to go and pray for the souls in purgatory by visiting a Catholic cemetery. So these are prayers that are approved by the church that you can pray. They're actually like the ones that are prescribed for praying, and you can do whatever you like in the cemetery, but it's kind of cool. It explains how, what happens when you visit the cemetery. It explains indulgences also. There's a plenary indulgence or a partial indulgence that's attached to visiting the cemetery and praying for the souls. And these prayers are what are called order of service for visiting a cemetery, and it is appropriate for a layperson to use. So really, really fun, cool activity to take your kids. Gethsemane is only a couple of 5 minutes away from CTK, and it's a really beautiful cemetery. Okay, your liturgical planner, awesome. The usuals, right? Kind of reminding you of the feast days and important things that are happening. Your virtues for the month, and I'm really excited about this one, so I really wanted to talk about it. So our virtue that we're focusing on, we talk about both generosity and patriotism, but we're focusing mostly on generosity, which is kind of great because we are in November, which is also Thanksgiving. So I just think it's kind of perfect, and we're getting ready, the very end of November. We're actually going to be, I think, headed into the first week of Advent. The first Sunday of Advent is actually the 30th of November. So this is sort of like a nice crossover. So you'll notice that we had this really cool book. Stella's trying to help me out here. This really awesome book called Babushka. It's the Christmas Tale. And it's a beautiful, Stella, do you want to help me open it up real quick? Can you just open up to one of the pictures? Yeah. Oh, so pretty. So you'll find out about Babushka and how she is living or learns to live a generous life. Okay, so you'll read this story, and I'm actually need that real quick. Okay, so we're going to read the story, and inside there's some questions that you could talk about afterwards, and they're really fun to talk about as a family, and then ways that we can live like Babushka. So how can we be virtuous like she is and generous? There is currently a food drive. That's just one of the ideas that Christ the King School is putting on. And we also have our St. Vincent de Paul food bank here. So that might be something that you could participate as a family. Also, I included Russian tea cakes. So that might be kind of fun to make these if you're feeling inclined, and read the story and have a little book discussion. So that is super fun. And of course, you've got your feast day plans if you want to celebrate. Let's see if you can help me out here, Stella. There you go. The feast of St. Josaphat. And there's also QR codes, which you can scan and learn more about these saints, or St. Elizabeth of Hungary. So, and there are recipes that go with that. Your family activities they're really super simple. Again, just choose what works best for you guys, but we're talking about faith and trusting God. So there's a couple of, there's actually exactly two things that you can do with your family and would be really fun. This is the one I think I talked about where you put water into a plastic bag and you poke it with, you talk about faith, there's some questions that go with it, and you poke it with really sharp pencils. I didn't include the pencils because if you're like my family, there's tons just sitting around. Just make sure they're super sharp, otherwise it won't work. And you learn about trust. There's also this is a little, like, it's a sleeping mask, but you can use it as a blindfold for a trust walk. So that goes with this family activity. And then we have our domestic church, which it's really focused on the souls in purgatory. So it really goes with our candle and just what's happening in the month. So liturgically, just keeping up with what the church is doing. This is kind of cool. We found this on YouTube. It's a book written by a Catholic author of kids' books, and it talks about All Hallows Eve. Even though we're already past it, it kind of ties in like praying for the souls in purgatory. These kids, they walk into a cemetery. So you can hear the book read to you as you watch like visuals, and it's kind of fun. So but this is just explaining purgatory to your kids, how different ways to honor the souls in purgatory. This looks a lot like the card that was at the back of church. So if you didn't get a chance to grab one, it's right here in a smaller form with St. Gertrude's prayers. Just different ways that you can, as a family, pray for the souls in purgatory. Okay. Oh, and this is really cool. One of the things you can do is you can pray specifically for people that have passed away. Now, you probably already have people in your family or friends that have died, but this week included, because these are people that are buried at Christ the King. They had funerals here and buried this year from November of last year until October 31st of this year. And you can actually just cut the names out, and that goes with the suggested activity, which is to pray a prayer box. And you can take any box, but basically write names of people, put them in the prayer box. Maybe you light your candle, maybe around dinner time or right after dinner. And each kid could draw a name and pray for a specific person that died recently. Okay, and the last thing, of course, this is just for fun. If you like to do, kids like to do little activities in the car or wherever, or take it to church even. I think these are great. Little word searches. You like to? Do you like to? Okay. All right. So anyway, there's that. It is a really fun box, and I hope you enjoy it.